The Jackal's Betrayal and the Camel's Revenge. One scorching afternoon, under the blazing sun, a crafty jackal and a gentle camel walked side by side, their minds set on mischief. They had formed an unlikely friendship, despite their differences in size and temperament. As they strolled along the dusty desert path, the jackal had an idea that sparkled in his eyes like mischief in the heat. "Let's go to the farmer's cornfield," said the jackal eagerly. "There's plenty of ripe corn ready for the taking." The camel, being wise and cautious, hesitated. "We must be careful, my friend," he said slowly. "It's the middle of the day, and the farmer could be nearby. If you make any noise, we'll be caught. Remember, you have a habit of barking suddenly." The jackal nodded in agreement. "Don't worry," he assured. "I won't make a sound." And so, they made their way to the farmer's cornfield, the sun beating down on their backs. The jackal, small and nimble, slipped between the stalks of corn with ease, greedily gobbling up the sweet kernels. The camel, much larger, took his time, slowly savoring the corn. Before long, the jackal had eaten his fill. Being a much smaller creature, he could only eat so much, and now he was full. But as he sat there, his natural urge to bark began to rise. The habit was strong, and he found it harder and harder to resist. "Camel," he whispered nervously, "I feel the need to bark. I don't think I can hold it in any longer." The camel paused mid-bite and frowned. "You must not," he warned. "If you bark, the farmer will hear us, and we'll both be in trouble." But the jackal couldn't help himself. With a sudden, sharp yelp, he barked loudly, his sound carrying across the field. The noise echoed in the still air, alerting the farmer who was resting nearby. The jackal, quick and nimble, darted into the bushes and disappeared in seconds. But the camel, large and slow, became stuck in the thick rows of corn. The farmer, hearing the commotion, rushed over to his field and found the camel trapped there. Furious, he grabbed his stick and struck the poor camel, shouting angrily for ruining his crops. The camel endured the blows, unable to escape the field, and after what felt like hours, the farmer finally let him go. Bruised and tired, the camel slowly made his way back to the riverbank, where he knew the jackal would be waiting. The two of them still had to cross a deep river to get home, and the jackal, unable to swim, had always relied on the camel to carry him across. When the jackal saw the camel approach, he hung his head in shame. "I'm so sorry," the jackal said, his voice low. "I couldn't control my nature. Please, help me cross the river." The camel said nothing, his expression unreadable. He knelt down, allowing the jackal to climb onto his back. Silently, he stepped into the river, the cool water rushing around them. As they reached the middle of the river, the camel began to sway slightly from side to side, moving in a strange rhythm. The jackal clung tightly to his back, confused. "Why are you swaying like that?" the jackal asked, his voice trembling. "You'll throw me off." The camel's eyes narrowed, and in a calm voice, he replied, "Oh, this? It's just in my nature. After a big meal, I like to shake a bit." The jackal's heart raced. "Stop it," he pleaded. "Please, stop." But the camel began to sway even more violently, moving left and right, shaking the jackal's small body until he could hold on no longer. With a final shake, the camel threw the jackal into the rushing water. The jackal thrashed and yelped, but being unable to swim, he was quickly swept away by the current. The camel calmly reached the other side of the river, walking onto the shore without looking back. He knew now that some things couldn't be forgiven, and some natures couldn't be changed. And with that, he left the jackal to his fate, his silent revenge complete. Moral: be mindful of those who help you, for betrayal may be met with a quiet but just revenge.